Hey y'all, I need to add Liz to this. Go live with, okay. Hey, hang on just a second. Let me grab Liz. All right, so we're waiting on Liz to pop on, and she should be getting on here in just a second. How's everybody doing? Sunday. Hello. Hey, Glenn. LG. Okay, so I think I can do this now. Let's see. Go live with Elizabeth Gilbert. All right. Yo! We did it! Oh, man. You know, that was a tough call.
We are.
And I just thought it was going to be magic.
I know, this is probably not a moment in history where we should be saying that we're history's greatest heroes, but I think we're kind of history's greatest heroes.
It's close. It's close. I mean, Liz, say hi to all these people. Look at all this coolness. All these people.
I was born in the 1960s. To figure out technology like this is very complicated.
Oh, and I was born in '82, and I just, we had pagers. I had a pager, and that felt very exciting to have a pager.
My first husband always had a pager, and I think that's how the relationship widened.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right in. Yeah, no, it's fine. Let's not waste any time because
you just can't.
Yeah, we can't. Someone said
hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Oh, Amy's legit. She's always down for the count.
Always down. Hi, Sylvan.
Oh man, this is so exciting.
Everybody.
Yeah, everyone's
great heroes. That's right. Hi, Cheryl. Our sister Cheryl's with us.
Aw.
Good.
I'm wearing a tropical shirt because this felt like I could just help it along, the tropical.
I'm wearing a French sailor's shirt because
it's really nice.
Thanks.
Very poetic. You look great, honestly.
Thank you. Thanks. So do you.
Yeah. It's fine. Don't worry. So the challenge has been going.
We're all looking just our best right now.
I can't even. It doesn't matter. I thought about putting on a tie, but then it felt like it was going to be too much, so I didn't do it. Yeah.
Don't do it.
The challenge is going amazing. We have so many people, and I was like, who knew this is how you get people stoked about poetry was a quarantine?
Yes. But also, doesn't it make sense?
I'm just saying, this is it. This is the answer. So
I was thinking about when you wrote to me at the beginning of all this and you said that you were going to write a poem every day, and that's how you were going to get through this.
Yes.
And I was like, she's going to be fine then. I just knew it. I'm like, she's going to be fine. Hello, India. Hello, Tennessee.
I love it. I wrote in those first few days, I must have wrote 9 pieces a day. I was about it. And my poems have gotten a bit shorter. Mine yesterday was, wow. That's it. That was my entry for yesterday. Yes.
Either shorter, your poems are either getting shorter or more eloquent.
Yeah.
Very eloquent. And you know what?
Sure.
It's also
sparse.
Somebody help me. What's it called when something spelled the same way backwards as forwards?
Anagram? No.
I was going to say onomatopoeia. That's it. Somebody say it.
That's it. Yeah, somebody tell us.
You know it.
What is it?
Internet.
The words. You
know what I'm saying? Abel was I, or I saw Elba.
Help us.
Palindrome! Yeah!
Palindrome. Who was the lucky King Nerds?
Now they're coming in. They're all coming in. Thank you.
Yes, this is very exciting. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Palindrome. I love that Tina Turner movie about the palindrome. Oh no, that was the
no, this is Thunderdome?
Thunderdome.
No. I don't know if Tina Turner will come on, but that's just going to come back to bite us a bit. It's going to get weird. Yeah, it might get a little bit weird.
Goodness.
I've seen some really great tags. It's been really neat to see people just kind of, I've seen some people asking about the challenge. So the challenge is called 1 for 30. So you write 1 poem a day for 30 days for the month of April, which is National Poetry Month. So I've been doing this a little bit, but it's always, poetry can get kind of tough and it can get a little bit squirrely. So people usually get pretty nervous, but Yeah, y'all have been smashing it. Someone just said Thunderdome, palindrome, no difference. We
No,
agree. No, you're absolutely right.
if you spell Thunderdome backwards, it says palindrome.
Who needs spelling? We don't, it's fine. It's not a big deal. We're not about specifics here. We like to keep it loose.
Yeah, everybody's got that. Do you have some favorites?
I was reading.
You have.
I did, but I was thinking this morning how fitting it would be to be working on like a follow-up to Eat, Pray, Love. Mine would just be thirst, meditate, and feel better. And I would do it from 3 rooms in my house. So that's what I've been working on this morning.
So what's the thirst? Just going and getting another thing to drink?
Yeah, well, because you were eating in yours.
Yeah.
You were eating in the beginning. And so I just thought I could just have beverages.
Also, just a medical tip, everybody, stay hydrated. It's a good defense against the flu. So that's what you meant, right? You just keeping the calories plump.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and it took me a while to get with you, but you're right. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying to find it in ourselves, the thirst that we quench.
That's it.
For our hydration.
Brings us back to poetry.
Yeah. Which takes us back to the haiku and the art of.
Can I read you guys something? I just read something just a minute ago, and I thought, I want to share this idea with everybody. This is from this novel I'm reading.
Y'all, do you want to talk about her glasses before she starts? Yes, wine is delicious, wellness to beauty. Look at those glasses, though.
Right.
Let's all drink. I love this group. I love it. Sorry, Liz, I interrupted.
The other day to talk about the glasses, Azure, we were FaceTiming, and she was like, after we got off, she's like, I love those glasses. Where'd you get them? And then she said, knowing you. She goes, knowing you, Liz, they're either from H&M or they're from the Louvre.
Right. Well, you just don't have a middle. There's for you, there's not
super lowbrow or like very highbrow. These are $22 on Amazon. They are made by Peepers. Yeah. And yes. So even lower than H&M, I would say. Okay, here's the thing I want. So this is a novel that's called An Unnecessary Woman. It's by a Lebanese novelist. I'm going to butcher his name. It's Rabi Alameddine. Oh, Alameddine. I think I can handle that. And it's about this woman who, during the war in Beirut in the 70s, she's an intellectual. She's very an introvert. She's brilliant. It's actually such a great character. But to keep herself occupied, she translates books. And she doesn't do it for publication. She just does it. She translates all the Russians into Arabic and all the great French novels into Arabic. And this is what she says. She says, if I tell the truth, and I shouldn't I? I translate books with my invented system because it makes time flow more gently. Mm-hmm. That's the primary reason, I think. As Camus said in The Fall, ah, mon cher, for anyone who is alone, without a God and without a master, the weight of days is dreadful. So I made translation my master. I made translation my master, and my days were no longer alarmingly dreadful. My projects distract me. I work, and the days pass. This is how I feel about all creativity, is that it makes time flow more gently.
Yeah.
And right now, I think time is weighing on people in a particularly oppressive and heavy way for a lot of people. And that's why I was so excited about your idea to start this 1 for 30 thing and get people into a creative outlet so that time could pass more gently.
I think that as I'm just like, I feel like in the morning I feel a little bit better, like about the day. And then like, after I've had my first and second breakfast and third snack, it's now 11 a.m. and I'm like,
Azure is a hobbit, everybody. Don't know.
Yes.
Eat 19 times a day.
Did you call me short? So
no, I said you're a hobbit.
Is that where we're at now? Oh, okay.
You're a hobbit.
So I'm trying to look within. I'm trying to dig deep. And here you come with the nonsense again. This is why I can't with you. This is why. Don't come at me with your glasses from Amazon. And everybody, while you were reading your deep passage about time being gentle, they were like, what's the brand? So you're not the only one, Liz.
Peepers.
Okay?
Peepers. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. No, Jen, you are hilarious.
After your third breakfast.
Yes. And then I'm just like, oh my God, what am I going to do for the day? And it's this whole overwhelming thing about not doing enough, not being enough. Am I doing it the right way? And it's so important to remember right now, everything is new. Like, we're all doing the best we can all the time. I find myself starting over and over again all day long until, you know, like I can find some place in myself where I'm like, all right, give yourself a pass. Like, take a break, take a breather. So I think that that's going to be really critical for us to keep reminding each other about just that gentle space and being kind and letting yourself just kind of figure this out as it goes along. So however you can get that done is a beautiful thing.
Mercy.
Jen, you stop it. You stop crushing on me. You stop it. I think that's to me, Liz. So don't try to take it like you did at the party. Jen said she was crushing on me, OMG, and don't you try to take it.
No, that was me.
Oh.
No, that was 100% me.
Jen, give yourself a pass. Jen, we need you to clarify. Jen Pasiloff, we need you to clarify who those notes were for.
No, we don't. We know.
We do.
We know. It's me.
Well,
come on. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Beauty.
The title of the book about the translator is called An Unnecessary Woman.
Okay.
And it is such a beautiful book. Okay.
Yesterday was my dog's birthday, Bella. So she's 5.
She's beautiful.
She's a lot of information. She's great. She's so much. So I found a few of these. It was hard to even pick. Like, we have been getting tagged nonstop. I'm super stoked to see everybody so excited.
Everybody. Keep it
yeah,
up.
You guys are smashing it. You are smashing it. It's like I'm here for it. So I wanted to just read one that really stuck out to me. There was a post, I think you saw it too. Somebody posted a quote from Walt Whitman. Did you see that? Was that last night or this morning?
Yes, about crossing Brooklyn, about the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yes, that was so good. I love
that poem so much, and it's the perfect poem right now to be honoring. It's also such a perfect poem to be honoring a time when the memory of people being gathered together, strangers in a crowd, which is going to be a while before we do that again, and also such a beautiful way to just feel New York. You know, and the love that Whitman had for New York. Will you read it? Do you have it in front of you?
It's Jolene. It's Jolene. You were the one that posted the
Crossing Brooklyn Ferry. Yeah, not the bridge, the bridge. The ferry.
Yes. I don't have that one. I was thinking of, when I saw it this morning, it made me think of Song of Myself. Mm-hmm. And so he says, has anyone supposed it's lucky to be born? I hasten to inform him or her that it's just as lucky to die, and I know it. I pass death with the dying and birth with the new wash babe, and I am not contained between my hat and my boots. And that's my favorite part. Like, first of all, he was the first original hipster, way before.
It's Whitman, everybody. Somebody's asking which poem.
Oh, Walt Whitman, yes.
And you know that Song of Myself is my desert island book. If I were to be, and right now a lot of us feel like we're on desert islands, I would say pick up Song of Myself. I often think if I had to live in isolation for the rest of my life, what would I bring? I would bring Song of Myself, and I would memorize the entire thing, and I would be happy. I would just be with Whitman, and I would be happy. It's so good, so good. I love that you have that committed to memory. There's something so magic about having prayers in you where they're
so good. It's so good. We have to just take a pause here. Someone says, my wife is getting a tattoo that says, what would Elizabeth Gilbert do? Listen, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to touch that. Nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing that.
Where on her body is it?
Yeah.
That changes what Elizabeth Gilbert would do.
Don't go further. Gilbert, don't do that, LG. That's not, there's kids. Someone has kids.
I'm going to need to see this. If your wife could kindly tag me in a photo on Instagram of this tattoo.
Listen, the 398 of you watching, 1 or 2 of you, we can't be sure. But we are an open organization. We, just keep it classy, folks. It's a weird time that we're in, and things go wrong. She always does this. And then she said, if you watch the video, we were going to launch Tell Her, there's a clip of Liz saying, like, in her dear one sort of way, she's like, you have a flag, and you throw the flag, and then you pick it up and you keep throwing it. And I'm like, what? And everybody in the room was like, oh, Elizabeth, yeah. And then we had a summit. So what did I say? I say all that to say, careful with the placement.
Well,
photos.
you know that my like the way I speak also, it's the H&M versus the Louvre. It's, I'm either going really low or I'm going really high.
Mm-hmm. Like when you announced the summit and you were like, we're doing that, right? And I was like, yeah.
We're doing that. And we are doing it. We're just
we
not
are doing it.
We're just not doing it in April. Some of you, I don't know if you all knew, but Azure was creating this Teller Summit, this summit for storytellers, for women storytellers to gather together in Puerto Rico. It was going to be so awesome at the end of April. And obviously that is not happening now, but it is happening. So continue to follow Teller Summit, because I will be there. I will be teaching my creativity workshop, and it's just going to be great. So it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen right this minute for reasons we do not need to explain.
Reasons you probably have a clue about. But yes, okay. So yes, Song of Myself, super dope. I want to, and then you gotta tell me what stuck out to you. So there were a few poems that really stuck out to me just from how direct they were. I think the thing that I love the most about poetry, for me, why it resonated for me as a writer, was just it felt like the one place where I could relax and not feel judged from so much of the poetry that like I read growing up. And then, you know, when I was an undergrad, it just felt like it was a place that I could find my voice before I felt confident enough to do prose or narrative. And so some of the poetry that really gets me are the things that just feel very clear. And so Jill writes a book. I don't know if she's on, if you're on. Hey, Jill. I came across this one. It says, it's called Gather. Jill says, "What did you do on the last day before you sheltered in place?" I stood on a portable porch with my son. We held back tears and said goodbye to his favorite teacher. I took my kids to the library and we checked out 85 books. That's not hyperbole. We checked out 85 books. Right? Love her. I bought extra candy at the store. I didn't know. Not exactly. None of us knew. But I guess I did. The most important things. I mean, at least I gathered the books. Jill Yancey. Right?
Oh,
I said.
You could see I have goosebumps.
That's what I said. I said chills. Right.
This line just, it's like I've got shivers going from my shins up to the back of my neck. At least I gathered the books.
Yeah. Right?
Beautiful.
What
Beautiful.
that one really stuck. I mean, so they're all so good. You were gonna share, Liz, what was it, T.S. Eliot? Is that right?
Yeah, you asked me to bring a poem, and
yes.
And somebody already took Whitman. So not that there's not enough Whitman to go around, but I thought that.
Did you guys peep that shade? Did you see that? You see how she tosses it out?
Hang on. Let me put on my $22 glasses, and everybody just be cool. Just be cool for 2 minutes. I'm going to read to you. This is a poem by T.S. Eliot called East Coker, and I think it is the best poem about the great divine patience that you have to have when the bottom has been ripped out from your life and you just want to make a move, but you don't know what it is, and you're stuck or you're trapped or you're just, and you're coming out of your skin. And I think a lot of people are in that place right now. And this is a poem that I've got most of it memorized, but whenever I'm in a transitional period of my life and I'm freaking out, this poem calms me down. I said to my soul, be still and let the dark come upon you, which shall be the darkness of God. As in a theater, the lights are extinguished for the scene to be changed, with a hollow rumble of wings, with a movement of darkness on darkness. I said to my soul, be still and wait without hope, for hope would be hope of the wrong thing. Wait without love, for love would be love of the wrong thing. There is yet faith, but the faith and the love and the hope are all in the waiting. Wait without thought, for you are not ready for thought. So the darkness shall be the light, and the stillness the dancing.
That's beautiful. Wow. What's your, like, what part sticks out to you? Like, what's your faith?
Wait without thought, for you are not ready for thought. is something that I say to myself every day before I meditate.
Yeah.
You know, and it's waiting without thought is very, very, very hard.
Yeah.
Because this thing.
Yeah. For sure. Yes.
You know, and so you're not ready for thought. And then I also think of it sometimes not in such a literal way as meditation, but I think your opinions and your judgments and your predictions and your plans, they're all thought. Wait without thought, you're not ready for it. And I think about that, about some of the response I've been seeing to the pandemic is a lot of people are responding too quickly to saying what this thing is or the impact that this thing is going to have on the world.
Right.
And it's too soon. Wait. Sometimes I want to say to them, wait without thought. You're not ready for thought. We don't even know what's happening yet.
Right.
And I do love the line, there is still faith. There is yet faith. But the faith and the love and the hope are all in the waiting. So it's a call to stillness at this very deep level of knowing that the scene is changing. When he says, like it's like we're in a theater where a darkness has come upon the theater and there's a rumble in the wings and there's a movement on darkness, and the scene is changing and we don't know what the next scene is going to be. Wait, you know, get very quiet, get very still and wait. And it's so hard for us because we're such an antsy species, but it's, that poem works on me. It settles me in a way that nothing else can. And it doesn't say it's all going to be better. It just says you don't know what it is yet. Just wait.
Right. And I think like that's the impermanence of this, yet how massive it feels and the heft of it, like trying to reconcile with that on a daily basis feels damn near impossible. What are, you know, for those of you that are tuning in, if you can send us you know, just a couple of things that you're doing to kind of help you get through our hope, our goal, you know, in chatting with Liz and some of us that are, you know, in this kind of work, is to not put too much pressure on ourselves. You know, it's very easy to get caught up in the optics of what everyone is doing with this time. I mean, I can't speak for anyone but myself, but I have multiple sclerosis. So this is the sitting and the being idle is something that I know my body is grateful for, and not moving around so much and not stressing out my nervous system. But it's driving me nuts on the other side of just being a human being, you know, but I'm trying to reevaluate perspective on a daily basis. I know Liz and I talk about that a lot, just really taking the moment for what it is, versus what we'd like it to be. So a couple of your notes: reading, let's see, walking in the upstate,
cooking, breathing, knitting for the grandbaby.
Yes.
Yoga Nidra is very good. Talk about waiting without thought.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, people were asking the name of the poem. It's T.S. Eliot, and the poem is called East Coker, Coker, East Coker. Yeah, you don't have to come out of this, you guys, with a first novel and six-pack abs. It's like you just have to come out of it. You just have to come out of it. There's a teaching I love. I wish I could remember who it was. It's one of the spiritual teachers who I follow, and God knows I follow them all. Said that, like, the really big challenges of your life, sometimes you think that you're meant to come out of it as some transformed person, but actually, sometimes it's enough to just survive it. Yeah, and that's okay, too. You're not required to thrive right now, everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely. And sharing and collecting and gathering and gathering. I mean, alone at your house, your thoughts, not physically gathering. However you're getting through this. I was saying yesterday, I went on just briefly. If you're new to Teller Summit, if you're new to my work, and you know you've come over, Liz has been such a huge champion of the work that I'm trying to do, and I'm very grateful for that. But we are really at Teller Summit, we're looking to redefine the word storyteller. We're looking to repurpose what that is, because people always assume that means they have to be a writer. This challenge isn't about highlighting your prowess or trying to draw attention to someone with, a very wide vocabulary. It's about just having a practice that will allow you to get it out. And if writing is the way that you do that, then we welcome that. But if you are, I see some of you are gardening, some of you are cooking, you're putting things together, you're using your hands, you're making space, you're organizing. That's a story in itself as well. People have so many mediums and modalities in which they tell stories and how they write. It's not just about how to craft something on paper. There are so many ways in which all of us tell so many individual stories. And so use this time to get through that however you see fit. And whatever you do or don't do is perfect. Social media is essential in a time like this when we are not allowed to get together physically. So it's beautiful. Let it be that. Let it be a connectivity point, not a measuring stick. Not some kind of meter that says you are sufficient or non-sufficient. You're perfect. However you're getting through this, it's a challenge every single day.
And we want you in our family no matter what.
Yes, 100%. And it's good to have you. It's good to have you here. I hope that you stay as long as you see fit, as long as it's helpful. Do you have?
Somebody just said that she made her bed and got dressed.
Man,
I don't know if you guys all saw,
so
but
great.
I put on social media the other day. I've got 6 words for you that will change your experience of being home and make you feel less insane and more sane. And
6.
6 words. Make your bed and get dressed. Make your bed and get dressed. Make your bed and get dressed. It's like sometimes, honestly, it's the difference between feeling like the world is totally out of control and feeling like, I got this. Look, I've got to. Oh, hi, Kate.
I did not make my bed. I just wanted to tell you that.
I gotta go.
I'm very busy, Liz.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I'm not a champion of your work anymore because you didn't make your bed.
Why are you like this?
I don't think we should do I don't think we should do this. It's not working out for me.
There's some people also who haven't made their bed as well. So I hope you're feeling the judgment from Liz Gilbert.
I'm bringing it on heavy.
I accept you with your unmade bed. And we can hang out, and you're welcome here.
I super don't.
Yeah. Just spreading up the bed count. I don't know what you mean by that.
I just like to spread the judgment. I just like to go through the world like Johnny Appleseed. Just
it's good. You know what, Rebel Heart Poetry? That's all good that you haven't made your bed in a week. Yeah, unapologetically, Jamie. See, these are my people, Liz.
Okay, but I'm seeing my people too. They're like, maybe tomorrow. I got you, I know. What? Yeah, what would Liz do? Make her damn bed. That's right. Put that on your tattoo.
What? Listen here, Amy 99. Okay, I'm coming over here with your spacing. All right, this is not the tone. This is not how we're gonna do
Somebody
this.
said I'm making my bed after I eat my 3rd breakfast.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Spread it. Oh man, this is good. Okay, so
are you gonna read us the poem of yours?
Okay.
Will you?
All right. Let's see what you're doing.
Yes, or recite it if you've got it in your brains.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Here we go. Liz, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna send you something in the post.
This little anthrax package.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, that's not what she said. Why are you doing this? You are the worst. Yes. Will I read you a poem? I can do that. I can read a poem. Entertain the folks, Liz. I've got to look for one.
Okay. While she's doing that, I'm going to show you guys something I did. So I think that sometimes our friend Jen Pasteloff talks about beauty hunting and trying to, like, when you're feeling depressed, go on a hunt for something beautiful. I also think it's really cool to set traps to try to catch art in the traps. So I try to arrange things in my life so that I have the best chance of catching art. So what I've done over here is I've set up a little art station, and I got all these art supplies, and I just leave it here so that, like, I'm ready. It doesn't mean that I like paint everything every day. It just means that everything's out and ready, like a spider web, so that if I get inspired to make art, I don't have to wait.
That's pretty dope.
It's a trap. It's a trap in which I'm going to try to trap some paintings.
But like my trap sounds so aggressive. Like what you just showed us felt really nice. Like the texture felt like softer.
No, it's a trap.
Someone thought you said fart. Huh.
Oh, to catch fart. I have one of those. I have a trap for that too.
Nope. I don't want it. Nope. Nope. Stop it.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to read the poem I put up the other day. It was something that I was working on for the summit in Puerto Rico. And I was thinking about being a teller, being a storyteller, and how fitting that is in this time where we are now. So I'll read that for you. This is up on our Instagram. I think it's up on mine too. So what will they say about you? Because everyone loves a good tale. They love a hero's journey, the plight of a wicked siren, the joy of the jester turned prophet. They love the audacity of the climb. But what will they say of you? I want you to tell me a story. Give me your sordid, your tarnished, your brandished, your weak, your failures and your grief. Tell me. Tell me how you demanded that the earth stop spinning. Tell me how you commanded the stars to stop echoing your grieving. Tell me about the time that you didn't value your own breath. And I'll tell you about the time that I cheated death. Tell me about how your voice trembled on the mountain, how you beat the odds and made it happen. Tell me about your loss. Give me the sheet music to your dirge, and I'll sing it with you. Tell me. Tell me, what will they say about you?
Ooh, beautiful.
Not quite done yet, but I think it's...
Tell me. Okay, I'm not a poet. You're officially a poet. I write poems, but you're a poet. It's a different thing. Let's not fight about it. It's just a fact.
No, we don't have to fight.
How do you know that's not done? And what does that do to you? Like what do you want from it that you're not getting? I'm just curious how that works for you. Because that feels really done for me.
I wrote this while traveling. I mean, I hadn't been home all year for more than, I think, 7 days. Just between ripping and running all over the place. Again, read it again. Y'all are cute. You're the best. And I remember calling my friend Michael. He's a dean of students in Connecticut. We've done some writing together. Michael's an amazing writer as well. And I said, I really want to open the summit in a very specific way about what got us all here, because for me, as you know, it's been a huge journey in this collaboration I've been thinking about for a couple of years. And so I wanted it to have a lot of meaning. And as you know, on the first day of the new year, I was hit by a car, and I'm fine. I'm like perfectly fine. It was a drunk driver. It was a smash collision, 3 cars, and all I had was a scratch. No one was hurt. And I remember thinking, like, this year is going to be about intentions. This year is going to be about seeing it through. And so when I started writing that poem, Michael was like, where do you want to go with this? And I said, I want to talk about the things we're not talking about, the middle, and how people get to the line, get to the finish line, whatever that is. I want to talk about the story. I want to talk about how we got to this storytelling summit. And none of this had started with the coronavirus. None of this had started going off. The year was hard, but I feel like if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're in entertainment or the arts, it's always hard. There's always some measure that you're trying to rise up to. We are the ones who put our careers in the hands of patrons. It is because of all of the people that are watching, the people that have come and seen me speak or watched a TED Talk or bought your books or fallen in love with your talks. Like, they keep us employed, so it's one of those careers where you can feel value in yourself, but then there are some days you just don't know. You're just not sure if what you're putting out there is going to resonate. Is it going to hit? And so getting to the summit, being there on opening night meant we made it. And I told Michael, I said, it's not done, but I don't know. I'm not sure where else to go. I feel like I can finish the poem now. I feel like I can talk about it, but it's so important what you read about the waiting and the time, because even now I don't want to force it. All I know is that it isn't finished, and maybe it's a line. Maybe it's a whole other stanza. I don't know. When I wrote Big Magic for your book, I knew it. Like, I knew it. And I remember you jumped up and you were like, yeah, all irreverent per usual crazies. And I was just like, this is amazing. So it's just a feeling. It's a feeling. And I don't know that they ever teach that. When I used to coach the slam poets, I used to always tell them, like, don't keep going on and on.
Somebody just wrote,
usually,
you know when you know.
You do.
Yeah.
You do know when you know.
You know.
Yeah. And it's like those songs that get, you know, a little bit weird. And you're just like, probably could have cut that one back. And, you know.
It's so hard. It reminds me of, I always talk about my grandmother, who was a Minnesota farm wife in the Depression, 8 kids, you know, tough life, Swedish, just hard living, always in poor health, just struggling. One of her creative outlets was baking. Also, she had a bunch of mouths to feed, so she cooked constantly, but she was a really, really good baker. And her apple pies were the most extraordinary apple pies. She lived to be 102. And when she was in her mid 90s, I went to visit her, and I was like, you know, the historian in me, I was like, I need to document her apple pie recipe, because it can't die with her. It's the best apple pie in the entire world. Some of you will be laughing already because you've sat with an older relative and asked them to teach you how to do something that they do intuitively, that they've been doing. So my grandmother had been baking probably a pie every single day of her life. She was 95 at that point, certainly since she was 12.
Yeah.
So for like the last 80 years, she'd been making a pie every single day, right?
Right.
So I sit there with my notebook and I'm like, so tell me how you do it, you know? And it starts with, this is where I realized that I'm doomed. She starts by saying, well, you slice the apples and then you feel them to feel the weight of the water in them and get a sense. Sure. You know, and I'm like, oh, fuck it. I just put down the and I'm like, yeah, you know what? No. What the fuck?
They're
like I'm writing in my notebook.
Sure.
Okay, so just feel it, and you'll feel how much liquid is in there and how much sugar you have to add. How can somebody who's done this, you know, for years teach you what intuition is? But intuition can be, I've heard this great description that I love, that intuition is eavesdropping on the cosmic mind. And
yo,
I know, right? And so your intuition telling you that something's not finished is the cosmic mind being like, go back in. You're not done. You know, your intuition telling you to trust this person or distrust that person. Like, there's this great intuition that's the cosmic mind sort of guiding you. And I don't know how to teach that other than to teach people that it exists.
Yeah, right. No, you're right about that.
And again, going back to T.S. Eliot, East Coker, be still and wait. Be still and wait. This combination of like working and then pulling back. Like put some effort in and then stop, put it down, go for a walk, make an apple pie, something else.
Right.
Alphabetize your spice rack. It'll come.
My spice rack is the saddest thing that anybody has ever seen. So, I mean, yeah, my alphabetizing would be so fast. It would be
like
so fast.
Salt and pepper.
So, it was like, is sugar? Is that cool?
Is that considered a spice?
Yo, I tried to make some oatmeal. That in Puerto Rico, they have this amazing oatmeal at the hotel, our host hotel.
Okay, so I lived in the East Village for years.
Yeah.
What is it? There used to be a stand where you could get from the Puerto Rican ladies selling oatmeal. I used to walk sick. Like, how are you making this? It's really milky, right? It's really.
I don't know. But yeah, but it tastes like a celebration. Like
good.
It just was so great. I just wanted to just make a face mask of it and then eat the mask later. And I just, so I asked a couple of Puerto Ricans.
That's your fourth breakfast?
Yeah.
Coconut
Liz,
milk.
I don't need you to count it, okay? You don't have to, don't put me on blast like that.
Egg whites. Oh, we're getting all sorts of ideas about the...
Oh, listen, if you know at home, if you know how to do this, what I need is to DM one of us, probably me, because I'm the one that's more accepting. Don't DM Liz. I'm here for you. So
everyone's saying it's egg whites.
Yeah, egg white.
Okay.
Okay, so we need
It
to
is
know.
true. She's way more accepting, you guys.
Yeah.
Don't DM me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, she won't. I will answer you. This will be like, I don't even, what?
All I want to know is that you made your bed.
That's
Otherwise,
it. And she barely wants to know that. That's what I'm saying. You belong here. Not where she's at. She don't care. Eat, pray, love. Mm-mm. Nope.
Eat, pray, love, make your bed.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, yeah, I need the recipe.
The oatmeal. So
Yeah, the oatmeal, you know, God, I know I had a point. Your grandma, okay.
You can't teach people their own intuition. You can just teach people that they have it, that it's in your software. And actually this moment in history is a really good time to be accessing it, because I said this in this TED thing the other day, the pacifiers have been ripped out of all of our mouths. You know, all the stuff that we reach for because we can't bear stillness has been taken away. And so this is a really good time to, like, the quieter you get, the more that you can feel that. A friend of mine says, how about this is a radical idea. How about navigating by the only compass that is inarguably yours, and that is your own intuition. So how about that being the navigational tool, 100% completely, not what culture taught you, not what your teachers taught you, not what your family taught you. You can take all that in, but in the end, if your intuition is saying that poem's not done, then it doesn't matter that I'm like, it's perfect, I love it, what?
Yeah.
Like, no.
I think that that's so clear too, because, or really important, you know, it's hard to teach a practice or something that has such an emotional vein. Like writing is so sacred. I'm always reticent to, whenever I'm teaching a master class or something like that, like I always want to encourage people that however you said that is right. There may be some ways to fine tune it, but, you know, I am no deity to say this is the wrong thing. Like, you didn't do this correctly. And I think we have to open ourselves up to letting that be softer, the way that they do these recipes, the way that they just know by love. You know, I've heard people talk about garlic that way. I've heard people talk about, you know, seasoning and things. And I remember growing up, you know, in a house, like watching my mom or my Nana cook, and like it was always a pinch of this and something else of that. And they just feel like they can look at it and know, or just understand, like you're hearing about the weight. And I think if we have a chance to invite some of that organic emotion and feeling into our space, because we're so technology inclined, we are so research bound at this point that we don't trust our feeling anymore. We just have to verify that feeling feels correct, but it is. If you feel it, it's yours. And there's not someone to tell you that that's not the way you should feel. You have permission to feel that way and change your mind by the time you get to the end of that feeling. Like that's where the poetry is. Like, that's where the beauty comes from. That's the magic. So I love that you were able to tie that to that space, because it really, it's the same way parents can look at their kids and just be like, that's not going to fit. You know, I remember having those arguments with my mom, and she was like, that's not, I'm looking at you like, you're mine. I know that that's not going to work. And I'm like, you know, it's so funny, Mom, because you were mostly right. So it didn't work out, you know? So, but I love that. I love it.
Well,
I love that.
What you just touched on is exactly why I don't teach writing. And I did it once for one semester only at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, because I wanted to be fair and try it, because I knew, I had a sense, my intuition told me I would hate it, and that I wouldn't enjoy being a teacher. In that setting, like, I enjoy being a teacher other ways, but in terms of, I hated the feeling of somebody handing me something that they wrote and me correcting it.
Right.
You know, I was like, I can't, like, I gave everybody in the class an A. I was like, I don't know, how do I grade it?
I can't.
I don't know. Like, it's amazing that you all came and did anything. You know, I'm not good at teaching at that level, but I do teach this creativity workshop, which is not about me teaching anybody how to write or what to write. It's just about me creating an environment in which people feel relaxed and trusting enough that they can, you know, and then they will, and then it just does, you know, like, That's what I feel like we would like. I know you and I've talked about that, wanting the Teller Summit when it does happen to create the best possible. It's like my art trap. It's like, let's create the best possible scenario, the best possible environment, the most nurturing, loving, nourishing space where magic is most likely to come and be attracted to. You know? Like, and it's like putting out sugar water for hummingbirds. Like you might not get one, but if you put out the right sugar water, you might, you know? So I would so much rather create nourishing environments than sit down and didactically teach.
Yeah. And I think that's what, you know, that space, that invitation to come and just be, although we can't gather in person like this, it's been so encouraging and so inspiring to see. I don't know how you count how many people have gotten involved in a thing.
I would have written maybe literally 1/100th of the work that I've created in my life. And it's a little bit like going out, like today, I made myself go out for a walk. I do these little bribes. I made myself.
Give me some money. I'll think about it. Send me the cash first.
I'll write for that cash money.
Yeah. No, I mean, how much? Someone said set a writing trap. It's my bank account.
Set a writing trap works for kids. Everything that works for kids, everything that works for kids will work for your inner toddler. Everything. Candy, bribes, money,
ice cream.
You get to go to a movie. It's totally fair game to do that.
You're right.
For your inner writer. Totally.
You're right. Yeah. Let it out. Give up. Be two. Have a snack. Put the pudding on the floor.
Get some string cheese. Get yourself some string cheese.
Put a pen in the washer and dryer. For fun, see what happens. Go with it. Honestly, I can't. I don't even. I'm not going to watch this ever again.
So do you, aside from if people give you cash money, do you write when you're not inspired?
Yes, I think that. You know, similar to kind of what you were describing, I give myself, if I'm ever teaching, if I'm ever working on like a poetry class or slam poetry or something along those lines, I always start people off with a free write because it allows people to just kind of get it out. And what I tell them is, what I used to call it was a prose blitz. And so I said, you know, I would set the clock for 5 or 7 minutes. And I said, all right, you're going to sit down, you're going to write whatever you're going to talk about at the top of the page. And then until this buzzer goes off, your pen cannot leave the page. If you stop writing, you're the first one that's got to read. And you know how terrified everybody is.
Oh, that's a really good trick.
You know, and I said to them, I was like, just keep writing. If you're like, I'm hungry, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I hate this group. Like, yeah, whatever. Write it down. And I said, just push yourself. And I don't ever go too long. And that has been one of the best exercises that I've found in the last, I don't know, I've been teaching like 8 or 9 years. It's just easy because there's no structure to it. So I like writing prompts too. Sometimes I get too stuck and I find myself overthinking about how I want to answer it because I'm a speaker and I perform most of my poetry audibly. Sometimes I write because I can hear it. And so I'm trying to break myself of that habit of trying to anticipate the end. I'm trying to just stay in the moment and like, this is what I want to talk about. So I'm going to try and talk about this thing. And I do make a habit to step away. Like you said earlier, I leave it. I don't touch it. You know, like you just wrote the foreword to my memoir. The memoir has been mostly done for 4 years. I just was like, if I read it, I'll throw it out. So I give it a chance to breathe. I give it a chance to sit and exist without me judging it as well. And then I go back to it when I can handle it. And I do find that I wouldn't necessarily always call it inspiration. I am a massive empath, so I feel like I feel things in a way that's so heavy at times. I can't breathe it myself. So in those times, writing has been really helpful. It might not necessarily be anything I'm even okay with sharing, but I have tried to just give myself the space to write it down. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't even really have to make any sense. And sometimes my mind gets so disrupted that I'll write like, I'm hungry, or snacks are delicious.
As long as you're
like
not the first one done and the first one who has to read. I love that so much.
That's so good. Someone wrote, Azure, how did you learn to read aloud with power? Anyone in my personal life would tell you that I talk entirely too much. I have so much to say.
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't?
Nope.
No. You're the worst.
Just exactly the right amount.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Liz. That's so sweet. It's very kind of you. Wish you had been that kind about my bed. But yeah, I think I really just, it's the one thing that I know how to do that I don't think about. It's the skill set that I got in trouble the most for in school. In grade school, was always talking. Like, Azure's a good student. She just won't ever stop talking. So I truly believe that everyone has one specific path. And I think that we have gotten a bit overwrought with trying to be everything and so much for everyone that you really don't get a chance to focus and harness what truly makes you sing. And for me, it has always been speaking and talking to people. That is the thing I love. I love poetry and I love writing, but the thing that I miss the most in this time is getting to talk to thousands of people on stage. I absolutely love it. I'm far more
the presence that this one brings onto a stage. That's how we met in Omaha.
Yeah.
In Omaha. And she introduced me in Omaha, and I was like, oh, hey, we hung out backstage and liked each other. And then it's like, and you were cool and fun, and we're like, oh, this is so great. And then you walked out on stage and I was like, oh my God, it was just like, you're like just like this magnitude and this radiance and this command, and it was just so good. And don't you want to go back to all those teachers who told you that you talk too much and show them your W-2s that you now get fucking paid to talk?
Sometimes I don't get paid.
Pay you. But
I just wanted to tell you all, because Liz is down here letting you think some other stuff is happening. See, this is why, Elizabeth Gilbert, we can't do stuff together. This is why I can't be hanging out with you online. You see, it says too much stuff. No, I need more work.
You get paid to talk all the time.
Coupons, crackers. Don't eat bread love here. Don't get confused, y'all. Don't get caught up in hype. But yeah, hugs, not anymore. Not anymore. Come up and hug me now. Don't try that.
By the way, Rafferty, I saw your name come up. You guys, if you're ready, pray love you. Remember Richard from Texas, that great character, my great teacher. His son Rafferty is on this call I just saw, and that made me really happy inside my heart. This is
really exciting. I love.
I know it's so good. It's so
Somebody asked you a question a while back, and I can't. Somebody toilet paper. Cool. I'm not sure what happened there, folks, but we're at the end of our time. So thank you for tuning in today. This was so freaking awesome. I will be sure to go back through, read those questions. Oh, Liz is back. Let's see if we can grab her just so she can sign off. Hold on. Let's see. LG, where'd you go? Hey.
Those fuckers cut us off. This is bullshit. I think
this is the worst. I threw everything down when it happened, I put it all back together.
I actually I broke my phone because I threw it across the room.
Yeah.
They cut you off after an hour.
So why?
Because it's as much time as you're allowed, because oppression.
Oh my God, so true. Liz, I'm telling you, you're a prophet.
I do. I know a lot about oppression. You know this.
Yeah. No. We're not doing it. We're not going to do this. Don't have me out here looking crazy in front of all these people.
I love you.
Yes. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
I love you. We'll see you next time, everybody.
We'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.